Hello and welcome to a spooky version of Fletch and Sav, the best bits on Halloween, live from Stamford Bridge. And a game 10 fixtures in that unbelievably saw Jose on the brink against the new kid on the block, Jurgen Klopp.
There was going to be excitement, passion, anger, frustration, and that's just the show.
Everybody gets a little bit of a buzz, don't they, when a name like him comes under a bit of pressure and the voyeuristic tendencies kick in and we all sit back and we watch it. And we watch it unfold. I think he's right, Robbie, isn't he? That people are getting excited by the prospect of what might happen here.
I totally agree, Darren. And I think, people are saying that he's becoming paranoid about referees' decisions. I'll tell you what, I've watched most Chelsea games over the past couple of seasons. And I'll tell you what, I would say a lot of decisions he's going on about, I would say he's right. I really would. The penalty they should have had. Remember Fabregas? Did he go down at Southampton? He was booked for a die. It was a penalty.
He was one in the Champions
in
League,
Kiev.
yeah.
Fabregas. So, okay, he is talking about a lot and he's deflecting a lot. But I tell you what, a lot of them decisions, you would say, he's bang on.
Chelsea should. What should they do here regarding Jose?
You've got to keep him, haven't they? I mean, it's they're having a bad time, but as someone just said there, it's down to the players for whatever reason. They're not playing well at the moment. It's not just when they go out there today. It's about the players. They've got to go out and perform today. I mean, he can only do so much during the week. Once, as Ray would tell you, once you cross that line, it's down to the players to go and perform.
Upton Park, Howard. Jose gets sent off in the tunnel, his coach gets sent off, there was massive decisions in the game.
I know. And
the floor's yours.
Jose's got it in his mind at the minute that obviously everybody's against him and the referees are against him. He said a few weeks ago that referees are afraid to give penalties here. I mean, why would a referee come here against 42,000 Chelsea fans and think, I'm going to upset them today by not giving penalties? I mean, it's ludicrous, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Whether he believes it, whether it's all calculated, I don't know. But as a referee, it's just crazy notion.
You've got no sympathy with him. Because I think some of the decisions which he's moaned about he's right.
Last week he wasn't at West Ham.
No, but over the course of the decisions, I think a lot of them he's been right.
Robbie, things go against you during the course of the season, and when Chelsea are winning, you don't hear these comments, and it happened in Italy, it happened in Spain.
Rio, Macca, Chelsea should. You go first, Rio. What should they do?
Stick with him.
Yep.
I think he's earned the right over the years. I think his first spell was fantastic. Endeared himself to the public, not just the Chelsea fans. He's come back. They say it's never easy to come back and replicate what you've done before, but I think he deserves a chance to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think strictly football-wise, I'm not a great advocate for sacking managers. I'm really not. So he should certainly deserve to stay. The only problem is whether the owners of the club are fed up with the off-field antics or the newspaper headlines. That's the only problem, the fact that they've dominated the headlines for the wrong reasons this year.
One story we did show in the newspaper this morning, just popped back into my mind. Mackie, you've always got your ear to the ground around Real Madrid. There was a story on the back of the Mirror, I think it is, this morning.
Yeah, seen it.
Ramon Calderon said yesterday somewhere that he could see a situation where Jose ends up at Real Madrid for the start of next season. Any thought on that?
Well, I would very, very doubt that. If Florentino Perez stays president, which he looks like he is, I mean, it doesn't surprise me coming from Ramon Calderon, but yeah, I can't see that, no, not at all.
Okay.
When Mourinho first came, he made a big point of saying that if he wants to be the best in the world, he has to work harder. He'd done that, but then that gave him the ability to be able to be a bit more loose again. After he proved to Mourinho he can work and he's capable of doing that, and the team became more confident, then he got a bit of freedom. And I think if he wants to be the best player, I said at the beginning of the season, if he wants to be in that upper echelon of player like Messi, Ronaldo, then the Neymars and the Suarez, maybe. But I think he has to be enabled to have that freedom, to have that imagination, to be able to run.
If he's tracking back into the left-back position, how can then he go and exploit up the other end of the pitch?
Van Gaal said there that he should have a conversation with his mate Ryan Giggs. I'm sure he has behind the scenes. I'm sure he's told Giggsy what he thinks as well.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to... I mean, we've all sat... Scholesy's sat here and said the exact same things that he said on radio the other night. So I don't know why all of a sudden it's all gone off. But, who isn't saying the same thing? Who isn't saying watching Manchester United now is very different to what it was a few seasons ago? Fast wingers, fast attacking players. They don't really look like scoring every time they go forward like they used to. They don't score last-minute goals to win games like they used to. It is a different team now, so I don't think he's...
He also said, didn't he, did he say, I also don't think I could play in that team? Could you play in that Man United team? Could you?
Well, I think
Would you like to?
It's very hard for a centre-forward at the moment. I mean, we can all, have a go at Wayne Rooney over the last sort of few months or year or so for not scoring as many as he used to, but you know, sometimes you do feel sorry for him, thinking it's a harder team now to score goals in than it's been for a long time.
Any sympathy for Van Gaal?
It's hard to have sympathy when you spend 200 million.
I would love the opportunity to be a manager.
What would it
but
take,
the only way I'd say, I speak to loads of my ex-teammates, Owen, etc., and the only way I'd go in, which I think the only way anyone should go in, is if I've got total control. You only go in if your name's going to be up in lights and the person who's going to get the blame at the end of the day if you're losing. If you're winning, you'll take all the adulation as well. But I want to know. I don't want to wake up and then Tom, Dick or Harry's coming through the door. I didn't know about it.
Rio, one of the most important things I think you need obviously players, but you need the right team around you, whether that's assistants or the chairman. I think one of the most important things I think for any coach is...
You'd like to be a manager as well?
Yeah, but I agree with Ray and Rio. I think you're only as good as the chairman you pick. Because if you... Roberto Martinez, so far, has picked terrific chairman in Swansea, Wigan, Everton. And those guys give you time. Everton struggled mightily last season, but they stuck by him, and they're back there again. I think if you pick... You see Cardiff there, that whole Vincent Tan situation, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You pick the wrong situation, the wrong chairman, your career's over before it even starts.
Yeah,
and that puts a lot of the ex-players off.
I think as long as you've got the in writing there in black and white, no one comes to this club or leaves this club without my say-so. Then you can go in there with a free
We've got
rein.
all kinds of things planned for this part, but it's turned into such an interesting chat completely off the cuff.
But I think this is a really interesting point.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're losing
That's why we're staying with it, Ray.
we're losing so much knowledge and talent because these guys won't go in there and do it. That I think is a great shame.
Okay, Rio, so let's for argument's sake, I want you to come and manage my club. What do I need to say to you, and you, Owen, as well, to convince you to try it? How low would you go to come into the game? What would be the requirements then? This is the audition now.
I think it just goes back to what it was like in the old days, maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Would you manage a League Two club to start off, for argument's sake?
I think it all depends on the project. I don't think you can just dismiss anything. I think I'm not someone who's got the experience to say, listen, I've worked at the top level, I'm not going down there, I've not been a manager. So you sometimes have to take whatever options are there if they are sitting in the right way.
That's all for Fletch and Sav, the spooky best bits this week. Hope you enjoyed it.
Keep tuning into @Fletch and Sav in the week, and we'll see you next Saturday from 10 o'clock on the sunny south coast for Bournemouth v Newcastle.